Today I am going to share with you my recipe for making these super delicious gluten-free pumpkin muffins. And oh my goodness, let me tell you, you are absolutely going to love this recipe. The muffin comes out super moist and soft. It is not too sweet, it is perfect. And on the top, I have this delicious, it's like a whipped cream cheese topping that I like to put on it just for that cherry on the top. So make sure to stick around and watch. These are the ingredients we're going to be using today to make our super delicious gluten-free pumpkin muffins. We're going to be using 3 large eggs, a 1/3 cup of melted butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of the pure pumpkin. I'm just using the pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie mixture, just pumpkin. 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1.5 cups of gluten-free flour. I like to use Bob's Red Mill gluten-free flour. I feel like this flour is super good and awesome when it comes to baking gluten-free baked goods. This is also the same recipe I use for my gluten-free pumpkin bread. So delicious. So you can use this to make a loaf of bread instead as well. And I'm also going to be using my stand mixer, but you can use a hand mixer if you do not have one as well. So I'm first going to begin with my wet ingredients. I'm going to go in and add my pumpkin puree. That was 1 cup of that. All right, then I'm adding in the 1/3 cup of melted butter, the 3 eggs. And to this, I'm going to go ahead and add my spices too, the pumpkin spice. My family loves the cinnamon, so 1 teaspoon of that. And then 1 teaspoon of the vanilla. Yum! And now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to mix everything together. I'm going to give everything a nice mixing until it's well incorporated. Yum, yum, yum. Now I'm going to add in my 1 cup of brown sugar. And now I'm going to add the rest. So to this, I'm going to come in and add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and I'm going to add my flour. Now, me personally, I like to give everything like a mixing like this before I add everything in so nothing comes out poofy all over the place, but you know, you can do it however you want. I just like to go in with my spatula first a little bit like this. Start it on slow. And with this, you're going to notice that the mix is nice and thick. And that's how we want our mix to be. You don't want the mix to be like super runny or anything. Just a nice thick mixture. So now that everything is nicely mixed and well incorporated, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Shake all the goodness off. And then with the spatula, I'm going to come in, and I always like to scrape off the edges and mix anything that didn't mix in. Now we have our pumpkin muffin mix ready to go. All right, so I'm going to be using a 12-count muffin tin and these super cute fall cupcake or muffin liners. I bought these at Walmart for only $1. So they come like, you know, with these pretty cool fall colors, where this one has like little imprints of just pumpkin. So it's very neutral, very nice for Thanksgiving. Now, typically when I bake my muffins, I make them straight on the muffin tin with oiled or buttered edges. Now, after my experience today with these cupcake liners and gluten-free muffins, I'm going to say that maybe I should have stuck with my traditional way of making them, because for some reason gluten-free muffins tend to stick more to the cupcake liner than what I personally like. If there are any tips that you have for baking gluten-free things with liners, do let me know. Maybe I was supposed to oil them beforehand. I don't know. They still turned out so amazing, but just wanted to share that experience with you. For our batter, you can use a cookie scooper to put it in there. I don't have one yet. I do have one coming. Not here yet, though. It's supposed to arrive later on tonight, and I want to make these for breakfast today. So I'm going to be using a 1/4 cup measuring cup, and I like to use this little itty bitty spatula to, scoop anything out that I need to. I always use this 1/4 cup whenever I make my banana muffins, which usually is an often type of muffin I make at home. They're really good. Or my cranberry ones, those are really good too. Both of which I use the same recipe for the bread as the muffin. Oh, look at that, how beautiful. These are gonna be so yummy. I'm going to go ahead and place these in the oven to cook at 350 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes, and you can use a toothpick to insert to check if they're ready. So now for my little topping, I have half a container of cream cheese. That's about 4 ounces, and 4 tablespoons of butter in here that have been just sitting on the counter softening it. I'm gonna go ahead and mix these guys together, or at least try to, because I'm not making a big bunch of it. Now that it's mixed, I'm going to go ahead and start by adding 1 cup of powdered sugar. Now, I'm just trying to measure things out here, because sometimes I just do everything like quick, you know what I mean, without measuring stuff. And to this, I am going to add a little bit of the ground cinnamon. It's gonna be about half a teaspoon of the ground cinnamon. The cinnamon is so delicious. Add 1 teaspoon of almond milk. Give it a little bit more of a runny texture. See what we got here. I want my texture to be a little runnier. So I'm gonna add another teaspoon of the almond milk, but let me taste it to see if I need to add more sugar. I think I should have just done the whole tablespoon, of almond milk. I was too worried. So 1 tablespoon of almond milk. Nice and creamy and ready. Yum. Look how yummy. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Look how beautiful. Oh, and my house just smells so delicious. Now, I'm not a baker. I bake occasionally. My sister is. She is just unbelievably amazing at what she does. She has a baking business. She makes wedding cakes, birthday cakes, all the good stuff. So she has all the knickknacks for it. I don't. So this is my trick. Ziploc bag, this in there, cut in the little end over there, and there I have a little drizzling thing. If you would like the written recipe for these yummy gluten-free pumpkin muffins, make sure to check the description box below, because I have shared the link to that with you. When I make these, the entire dozen of muffins are gone on that very first day. They are that good. Look how yummy it is. Mm. Mm. I want you to take a nice close look at this. See how it is nice and moist? It is not gritty at all. It's so good. Look at that. Now it's your turn to give it a try. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check this next one out.